The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. I don't know if that's something you need to hear right now, but it was definitely something that I needed to hear a few months ago. I basically found myself stuck. I was hurt, and it was basically just a situation that felt all too familiar. And to be honest, just really embarrassing. And it was kind of in this limbo and frustration of getting mad at myself not being able to push as hard as I wanted to, or that I wasn't working as hard as I wanted to. That basically led to a lot of deep self-reflection, trying to understand who I am, and just what I truly want to accomplish. So I had to take a step back, zoom out, and just remove any emotion from the situation just so I could see clearly. And it was hearing this quote that's kind of when I got the gut feeling of I knew what I had to do. For me, my journey didn't really start until it felt like I was at the end. I was 19, and to be honest, I was in a very dark place mentally, to the point where I just was ready to say goodbye. Basketball was sort of out of the picture at the time, and I found myself training just to stay here. When I found rowing, for me, it totally just embraced this idea of endure. If I keep pushing, showing up, and hanging on, I could make it out of that mental place. Waking up at 3:30 in the morning, walking 50 minutes to practice, and working out twice a day on top of being a full-time student, it was a lot, but I strived to uphold my character of just being a good person and not let it affect how I decided to treat others. I'm not perfect by any means, but at the end of the day, I've always tried to come back to this idea of, am I a good, genuine person? Have I been able to make someone laugh or smile today? And as kiddish as this may sound, Superman and this vision of hope and light at the end of the tunnel has just always been super real to me. Trying to find an escape from this mental place, even though the reality of it was that I was never going to escape it. Rather, just finding a way to stay calm and present in the moment. And there's this saying basically where living in the past creates a lot of depression and living in the future creates a lot of anxiety. And for me, I just couldn't seem to find that sweet spot. 7 years of living in this back and forth between chasing a destination and living in the past of what could have been. To go from breaking training plateaus to finding myself on national stages and having funding opportunities, to having it all stripped away and finding myself in the emergency room with a completely numb left arm, dizzy, lightheaded, and just unable to work out for 10 months, to getting back up on my feet and chasing something new, only to then immediately find myself out for another 2 years with a herniated disc in my low back. It wasn't until I got back up on my feet again and made the national team that there was just this overwhelming sense of I could just live in the moment. And I felt like I was going to be on this trajectory, staying healthy, keeping up with training, and eventually I could make something cool happen. And then I got hurt again. And again, I got back up, but fell short. And sitting there during all that time and trying to make my way back to the international circuit, you realize just how quiet it all is. And you realize that at the end of the day, we're all just worried about ourselves. And that if you want to make something happen, you are the only one who can make it happen. No one's coming to save you. People may be around to help, make it a little bit more bearable and easier, but no one's going to spoon feed it to you. And thinking back over the course of almost 10 years and these promises that I made to myself along the way, the core question became, before I hang up the shoes on this athletic quest, will I be able to look back and know that I gave everything I had? I think the Olympics have always been a goal of mine just because of the personal affirmation that comes along with it. But I think digging a little deeper in myself, it was really more the Olympic level athleticism that I've always been chasing. So what do I have to do in order to push myself the most that I can, physically, mentally, and emotionally? And on top of that, have my actions not just as an aspiring athlete, but as a person, help to inspire hope and light in someone else's tunnel. And so when I heard this quote, I knew I had to rid myself of the ego, the attention, everything. And I actually made the decision that I was going to go back to rowing with the intention of later incorporating a lot of that bobsled training that I was doing and just seeing what I can become. So I broke myself down and found that discipline and structure again. I started waking up at 4 a.m., training, quietly putting in an honest amount of work, and then eventually getting back up to the 2-a-days. And the core theme out of everything that I've said so far, the mental health, the setbacks, the injury, the journey, is that this and the gym is what helped me make it through. I think in today's social media driven world and the constant comparisons that we make to others, the pressures we set on ourselves, the gym just kind of helps ground you as you set out to carve your own path. Whether it's chasing high performance athletics, an athletic skill, a fitness goal, or just a more disciplined lifestyle. I think for a lot of us, it just creates that temporary purpose that we need to just hang in there, almost like a metaphor to keep fighting. And so if you're watching this video and you're feeling a bit lost on your path, maybe you're transitioning out of or you're between sports, or you just want to train like an athlete again or discover something within you, I'm telling you, the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Let the gym become the thing that keeps you grounded. Find out what it is that gets you going and just keeps you working. It's your journey. It's your story. Don't quit. Find a workaround. Find a pivot that's going to get you to your edge. Create temporary purpose for your life by just waking up early in the morning and getting after it. You just need to get some momentum going, and I promise things will start to build from it. It's time to rebuild.